All right, we're back at it again, this time against America, once again in the Conference League. If you're just joining us, this is a different Conference League than what you're used to. This is using World Super League, which means that it's made up differently, including clubs from all over the world, which is why we're here against America. We're controlling FC Augsburg. We've had kind of a poor run of form lately, though we did win a friendly before this match, so there's that. And we'll see what we can do here. Now, it's a little bit harder in this league than normally because we have a whole bunch of legendary players who are young wonderkids. As Kuzi wins that was good. It makes it a little bit harder because we don't exactly have infinite money. We do have one of them, which is Ernst Lehner, who is injured. Boria wins this and then loses it right away. We have completely restructured this team. We're restructuring around speed, in particular acceleration and pace. There's Broya with it behind the defense. And that is knocked out for a corner. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see a little bit more of that. So let's see if we can get a little goal in here early. That doesn't quite come along, though. And so we're kept out once again. Kuzi here with this, back to Mutsundai. And he has it just stripped away from him. Mutsundai is probably not the best person that we could have play center back, and he's not quite as fast as we need. And we can see that right there. Alejandro Zidenhaus have scored, and there was Mutsundai's mistake, and that's what happens. This is why you need speed. He does a poor job with the tackle, and then he's behind the guy, and that's what happens. So we're down 1-0 here early, and this might spell the end of our Conference League ambitions. We were hoping to get to the round of 32. I don't think that it's really in the cards. It might happen. You never know. This is forward from Buku, and he can't quite get over to it, so it doesn't quite work out. And there's been a lot of that. We have the pace, but we don't always have sort of that finesse that we need. Bukovina. Down to Kuzi, up to Borges, back to Kuzi. That was good. And it leads to a shot, but unfortunately the shot goes up and over, so it doesn't quite work out the way that we were hoping. Copenhagen, by the way, is up 1-0 over PSV, which is big. If PSV lose, that gives us a little bit more hope, assuming that we can get some sort of result out of this one. And as is always the case with Football Manager, I mean, we've been hurt by injuries, we've been hurt by a whole bunch of things that we really couldn't do much about. But it's not much of an excuse. No matter what team you have, you're going to end up with injuries, you're going to end up with problems. Our biggest problem, I think, is trying to get these guys to have cohesion and to play together as a team. I think that's the thing that we've been worrying about the most. And they're flagged for being offside. We haven't played poorly in our losses either. We keep losing by 1 goal. Manga in the back with it to Broya, to Rukovina. And Broya was onside. It's another one of these really weird phantom offside calls that I keep seeing come up. We're trying to train him to beat the offside trap. That might help us a little bit. And that was really, really poor. And there's number 2. And this is problematic. This is problematic, and I'm worried that this is not going to end up being much of a match for us, unfortunately. That was an awful pass. And so our woes continue, and we really are in trouble. Now, losing out in this competition is not the end of the world, but we were hoping to do a little bit better than this. This is bad, and there's money on the line, of course. A win means quite a bit of money. Getting a loss doesn't give you anything. There you go. Broya, Vukovina. Borges, Chahid, Dukuzi. Passed up to Manga, over to Nathan. Vukovina to Broya. So who was offside? And Mbuku is injured now, and that's going to be a problem. More injuries to worry about. We have had so many injuries here early on in the season. Every single player that we have that is any quality ends up injured, and we end up having to start guys who should be on the B team. That was something, but it wasn't good enough. And let's see what we can do about this substitution. Another part of the problem is I don't think that I made enough changes to this match squad before this match, which is probably part of the reason why we seem to be a little bit behind. But we'll have to go with it. Ignore the star ratings, by the way, because I certainly do. Star ratings don't mean as much as you think they do in Football Manager. What really matters is trying to get speed and trying to get players who are young and who can grow with experience over time. Here's Öztürk in the back to Manga again. Over to Hoti. Now, Hoti hasn't really impressed me much today, I'll tell you that. All the way back to Klein. So Klein is a keeper that we're trying to give a little bit more experience to, and he's had a bad match so far today, unfortunately. He has a lot of potential, but has not played well. That's a good save, but he can make that save, right? But he can't make the save when the guy's standing right in front of him. Up and out, so that gives us a goal kick. But you better believe that at halftime we're going to start yelling at some of these players because this is ridiculous, and this is a better team than this. Shouldn't be playing this poorly. I mean, America is not exactly a world-beating squad. It's a squad we should be able to beat. Or I think we beat them before. Time to break. Borges heads it once again to nobody. He's played really poorly in this match. Broya with it over to Nathan. There you go. Borges now for Öztürk, and he tries to just pass it in, and he doesn't have much luck on that, though. It's good from Klein, good anticipation. I'm not quite sure who that was deflected off of, but they did a spectacular job of deflecting it, hitting that one up into the rafters. That's out again, another goal kick, so we'll try this again. He's taking a look at the ratings, and yes, Hoti, who's having a really bad rating. I haven't found anybody yet. I've been trying to be a little bit nicer, but at some point in time I'm going to lose my patience, and we'll end up finding and probably just selling off players, because it's ridiculous. You got to play better than that. We've had so many problems with our center backs, and it's because we can't find anybody who's fast. That's the issue. We have a bunch of guys who are moderately fast, but it's not good enough for this level. Öztürk with it. And that's deflected out, so that'll be a corner. We have 2 minutes of added time. Getting a goal back here would be nice. And it's knocked over to Hoti, who, has done absolutely nothing in this match. It amazes me how quickly the counterattack comes, right? Because you would think that... so yeah, that's been terrible. And we're going to go after individuals. Throw the water ball at this guy. I was going to say, though, it's amazing to me how quickly things can change. This is the problem we have. We can't make like 10 substitutions, which is what we really need to do. So let's see what we can do here. So Hoti needs to come out. I'm not sure if I'm ever playing this guy again. I'm definitely not playing him as center back again, and that was a really, really foolish decision. We're going to put Manga in there in center back, which is where he kind of belongs. And over on this side, I think we'll put Trulson in, though he's really not a right back. This is not a squad that was well put together, I'll tell you that. And I think that what I did is I just sort of kept the squad that had played the friendly and forgot to go back and make the changes that needed to be made. Put Buchanan in. Buchanan's always good for a laugh. And that gives us 2 more changes here. Broya has not been playing well, but we want to keep him in because he knows how to score goals. Kuzi has played really poorly, so we're going to put Adamarolia in, and we'll keep it at that. See if that helps a little bit. I think that means that we have... No, I think that's all 5 substitutions that we've used. Buchanan over for Broya. And, well, that didn't do very much, did it? There we go. We win that. That looks a little bit more like it. And then, of course, the highlight ends. So one of the problems, I think, is that Hoti is really a defensive midfielder, and I'm not quite sure why we were playing him out of position. But he did a really, really poor job and basically gave up 2 goals by himself. And that's not what we want to see. And so we learn, once again, never let the computer choose your squad. It's a really bad idea. There you go, Adamarola. And look at the difference. Here comes the speed. Borges over to Chahid is just not fast enough. That, again, is the problem that we've had. Chahid at defensive midfield, he's got like a 15-15 for the pace and acceleration. You get a guy who's like 18-18 or 19-19, that's a goal. And that's where the difference is. Here's Nathan winning this. He's just fast enough. Over to Manga, up to Borges, down to Chahid, who takes a shot from range. Wild shot, doesn't quite go anywhere near the goal, but it's worth a try. Chahid wins it, looking for Öztürk, can't find him. There it is, back to Chahid. Takes a shot, and it's deflected, and they're trying to put it out for a throw, and it does go out for a throw. And the highlight continues. So here's Broya over to Nathan. Back to Manga. Over to Buchanan. Forward for Borges, but can't quite find him. He sticks with it, though, Chahid. Nathan to Broya, and Borges is just right behind the play. And, oh, someone was offside. I thought it was someone injured. No, someone was offside. Borges now here with the free kick. Over to Manga, and just trying to sort of knock that one in just a little bit over the reach of the keeper. It doesn't quite happen, though. And Öztürk, very fortunate, but it's an awful pass for Borges. Bukovina, however, wins this back to Nathan to Chahid. He's looking for Adamarola, and he didn't look before he passed. It's kind of a strange decision, and Martin is way offside. And here's Manga again to Nathan, up to Buchanan. Chahid, back to Buchanan. Adamarola, over to Öztürk. Borges. Surrounded by men and has it taken away from him pretty quickly. And here they come down the other side. And that's out for a corner. So pretty good job by Adamarola to get rid of the danger. But now we have to get this corner out. Buchanan with it and lumps it forward. He's just trying to get it out of the range, and it works. Borges now with it, and look at that speed over to Öztürk. And that was pretty bad. Öztürk has a lot of learning to do. Adamarola, however, grabs that over to Klein. Down to Buchanan, back to Klein. And they take a shot from range. It doesn't do much of anything, so that goes out. We've seen highlight after highlight, and it's exciting. Borges comes up. Bukovina must have been offside, but they don't call anything. And Trulson knocks that out for a corner, so I mean, it's something. I tell you though, Broya really having a poor match, and I'm worried that this might be an indication that he dislikes big matches. That's one of those things that we really don't want to see. All right, that tells me that we do have another substitution to make. Here's Broya with it, and he's fouled. He's not. That's another one of those weak offside calls. Take a look at this. So yeah, I guess Rukavina is the one who's having the bad match, but yeah, Broya having another bad match. And whenever I see a good player having a really bad match for no apparent reason in a match like this, I get really concerned, because it's probably the case that he dislikes big matches. And if that happens, you can't tell until the guy turns 22. But if that happens, I mean, I just sell them, because it's the same thing as being inconsistent. It's something that's not helpful, and that really diminishes his value in my eyes to the point where I don't want him on the team. But that can be a problem if you've paid a lot of money for somebody, like we have in that case. Öztürk here with it. That's what happens when you buy guys who are young. You take a risk. Öztürk again. Back to Borges. Borges having a pretty quiet match. Nathan to Adaramola, back to Borges. Lump forward for Demirovic, and he slides it in. There we go. That's something. So let's see if we can encourage everybody and try to get a little bit more going on, a little bit more firepower. 2-1, and so we've made it close. That's kind of what we want to see. This was a great pass forward, and Demirovic shows that he can score. Demirovic is the sort of player that kind of drives me nuts. I mean, there are times where he's brilliant. There are other times where he just doesn't do anything. We've seen a lot of that from our strikers. Not quite as bad as Broya has been today, though. Broya today really fell apart, and that has me very, very concerned for his future. Klein with the save. Good job. We've got 10 minutes left. Be nice to get one more. A draw doesn't really help us that much, but a win, of course, would be great. I don't know if we have it in us. Adaramola lumps this over for Öztürk, who wins it. Over to Demirovic, who almost scores his second. That was really close. I mean, this is amazing from Öztürk, who just comes from behind, says, that's mine, and then knocks that with the back foot, the back heel, rather, over to Demirovic. That was incredible. Trulson, Bukovina, and he's offside. That time, I agree with it. Oh, Klein, and that's dangerous, but Klein goes over and grabs that just like he should. Forward for Demirovic, and he was offside. And Nathan here in the back. And that wasn't much of anything. Nathan is one of these players that we got in a free transfer who's actually pretty good. I'm kind of surprised nobody wanted him. But sometimes he does silly things like that. He's been involved in a lot of attacks, though, and that's what we like to see. Shahid wins this over to Pekanen, over to Nathan again. Shahid over to Borges. Öztürk, and back to Pekanen. Pekanen lumps this forward, looking for Borges. Can't find it, but Nathan wins it over to Öztürk. This is what the speed does for you. And he lumps this over for Demirovic. That was so close. Oh, man. Oh, man. So you can feel it. You can feel that we're getting closer and closer to this. We're being tackled left and right, but we still manage to get this quality of a shot off. And that's the thing. You just take that 1 or 2 step back, and it confuses the defense. This is a lump forward. Nothing happening. And this is not looking good. Fortunately, it's up and over. We only have about 4 minutes left, though, and time has really started to tick. So we'll see if we're able to get anything out of this match. Otherwise, though, it's looking like it's going to be another loss. Shahid forward for Öztürk. And what was that? He was offside anyway, doesn't matter. But I'm concerned because what was he trying to do? There's, you know, there's no reason to blast it like that from that position. He doesn't know where he is. Bogus wins this over to Shahid. He gives it up right away. It's just like there's nothing to it. I mean, that's so poor. And we've lost this one 2-1, so it's time to have another talking to with these players. That was a really bad performance. We wind up now in 3rd place, losing to America, who haven't won a match before now in the entire group. And so we're going to have a talk with these players. That was bad.